Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Meet Your Emmy Nominee. I'm Brian Purica at The Hollywood Reporter with first-time Emmy nominee, Gordon Ramsay. Good morning.
Good to see you, bud.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, very well indeed, thank you. Busy morning, but all good.
So you're here to celebrate your first Emmy nominee. When you found out you were nominated, what was your first reaction? How did you feel? Did you call anyone right away? Did anyone call you to tell you? Or?
Joe, I actually heard it watching it live on the news. And also, I sat having breakfast with the kids.
Yeah.
Breakfast in the Ramsay household in the morning is quite eventful. So we are all over the shop. You know, the girls want scrambled eggs. One of the girls wants an egg white omelette, which I refuse to do.
Why is that?
Well, because, you know, you're going to eat an egg, eat the whole thing.
You have to.
And I'm worried about how many egg white omelettes go on in LA alone. I'm worried about the yolks. So there are millions of yolks unwanted. So I sort of ban egg white omelettes in our household. And with teenagers, they're fussy.
Yeah.
So 15, 16 and 17 years of age, and they eat with their eyes. So I said, a good hearty meal sets you up for a great day. So put
I haven't had breakfast today.
You're kidding me.
Slacking.
Really?
Yeah. I need to eat after this.
Damn, so no breakfast?
No breakfast today. I need to
Brian,
go get something.
Seriously?
Yeah, slacking.
You are slacking. Also, that gets you up in the morning. Scrambled egg, grilled tomatoes, toasted wheat bread, a little veggie Marmite. That sets you up for the day.
Now, what was your reaction to it being your first Emmy nom?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased. Also, I think MasterChef Junior has become a sort of linchpin for, you know, great eating habits. These young kids are now re-educating their parents, and I'm fed up with kids getting blamed for their eating habits. It's not the kids, it's the parents. So MasterChef Junior's turned that on its head. Also, it's an amazing show because the first thing I say to them, no mum and dad, no teacher, and you've got me. We're going to go up, we're going to go down, and welcome to life. You're going to hit adversity, and all I want is a solution. Don't give me the problem, give me a solution. And so, you know, with 15 or 20 minutes to go and they've made a big mistake, what have we got left to salvage? And that's pretty much what life's like. You know, when you hit adversity, how can we come out of this on top? And that's the one thing inside that arena that I teach them. Come to me with a solution. Don't give me the problem. Now,
when we talked before, you said one thing about MasterChef Junior that you really like is that the kids are fearless.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I think, you know, this sort of generation that, you know, are sort of victimized for growing up spoilt, especially the millennials, is unfair. They're just more distracted.
I'm a millennial, technically. I don't know.
But you're not that. How old are you now?
25.
Oh, it's 2017, a millennial.
Yeah.
So you're a big boy now,
okay,
Brian.
yeah.
Yeah, you're big. You've got to get your shit together.
I got to eat breakfast.
You're 25. You're 25 years of age. You should be on your first property now, serious girlfriend, and a couple of grand in the bank.
Yeah.
And you're not.
Ah.
No. Anyway, so you know, for me, it's about that journey, and Cooking with No Fear is instrumental. I think that kind of education should be in every school. It's as important as maths, English, and history, and it's something we do 3 times a day, 7 days a week. So I love that kind of. It's almost like getting piano lessons at the age of 7. You know, if you and I had to go and learn piano, we'd be there all day. Yeah. Where a 7-year-old, 8-year-old pick it up instantly. It's the same with food. So they respect the ingredients. We teach them not to waste anything, and that zone, Cooking with No Fear. Is exciting because they are, you know, energized. They've got this amazing canvas to create, and food's art. You know, it's about that level of expression on a plate, and I think that's what MasterChef Junior has managed to do with these youngsters in a way that has helped shape the adult version of MasterChef because they're respectful of each other. I made a conscious decision at the beginning to send 2 home at a time, so you don't leave, you know, that studio with a guilty complex.
Now, going off that, what do you think it was about MasterChef Junior versus MasterChef and other shows that really got the Academy's attention?
Yeah, I'm a father of 4, and all I said to them from a young age, literally 4 or 5 years of age, I said, the quicker you tell me, the more I can do. Yeah. And they look at me in a weird way, saying, what do you mean, Dad? I said, no, the quicker you tell me, open up and be honest. And I think what MasterChef Junior is different to the other programs I've been involved in. It's me, 360, you know, firm, fair, father, mentor, on them because I want the best. So I push them to the limit because it's an amazing place to be. And it's not about becoming first, second, or third, it's just getting the best out of them. And sometimes you can come 9th, 10th, but they've still won in my eyes because you're getting the best out of them. Yeah. That's the important part.
Now, one other thing you said to me was that you wanted to cook for Emmys night. Do you still plan on doing that, and do you want to do that? Or
not when I heard there's nearly 1,000 people there, so I'm fine when there's small numbers.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I mean, I came to this country 15 years ago when I first started, so I'm obviously very grateful. But it's a big award, and so I take this thing very seriously. It doesn't change me. It's more, I suppose, it keeps me more focused. So on the night, no, I'd rather be sort of going up there and saying thank you to the team than standing in the kitchen shouting my ass off.
If you weren't to give your Emmy speech, who would you want to give it for you?
Who would I want to give it for? A guy who knows me very well, a really dear friend of mine, very competitive, big sports star. Yeah, I'd say David Beckham.
Okay.
Because he understands pressure. And he represented his country for 125 times. He captained England like 95 times. And it's a guy in that arena that can handle pressure beautifully.
Going off David Beckham, he's obviously no longer with the LA Galaxy anymore, but you mentioned that you were working with the Galaxy or did something with them?
Yeah, we did a little skit a couple of weeks back for the F Word. Went, laced up the boots and got on the pitch. You know, I started off playing soccer and I was sort of destined, hopefully, to become a great player. Sadly, that was taken away from an early age with a horrific injury. Smashed my cartilage and then tore my cruciate ligament. So...
and then your Achilles.
And then last year, my Achilles, yeah. And you get to my age, you fall apart. I think, having a busy professional life needs to be backed up with keeping fit. And so triathlons saved my life because it wasn't just a run. It was a swim, a bike, and a run, and so that gave me time to myself, which was, everyone thinks it's slightly weird, but training is my downtime because I get to reflect, I get to think, and I remember standing in that water at Kona at the start of the Ironman in Hawaii a couple of years back. 2,500 athletes were treading water 5:30 in the morning. Amputees were being lifted into the water to swim and to compete, and it was just an amazing moment. And I just couldn't help myself but look at this incredible visibility of this, almost like Finding Nemo underneath me, and it was just like lunch, dinner, food everywhere. Yeah. And that's what took my mind off it, and all of a sudden I just swam 3.8k swim before the 180k bike ride, before the 42k run. So that's relaxing for me. When I train, I relax. And it's a great way of staying focused.
What else do you like to do in your downtime time? What does a day with Gordon Ramsay look like besides you working?
Yeah, I mean, I have a manic schedule. So I get up about sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'll be in the gym from sort of 5 till 6. And then the UK calls start coming in mid-afternoon. I'll be on set for 9:30, 10. Tape till about 6 or 7. Home, light dinner, glass of red wine. Pick up the phone and say good morning to the UK, and then get to bed. I sleep 4.5 to 5 hours Monday to Friday, and I make up for what I don't get during the weekends.
That's a good way to go. Now, in terms of your Emmy nom, did you get a lot of calls from the UK? Or?
I got a lot of calls. One in particular from James Corden, a dear friend of mine. He said that congratulations on the nomination, and then he went on to tell me he'd been nominated 5 times.
Taken away from your first nom.
So I was like, oh, thanks for that. I was very fortunate enough 8 years ago when Kitchen Nightmares first came out in the UK, we won an international Emmy, but it's not the same as winning a homegrown Emmy. So we're up against a competition. Yeah. I love that competition. That for me is healthy. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Who are you planning on bringing to the Emmys with you?
Bring my wife Tana,
of course.
And then maybe Megan, our eldest. She's just started university. Yeah, none of them, bar one, wants to go into food. No. I think they've watched too many of my programs. I've put them off, which is a good thing. Except Tilly, our youngest, she's 15, and she's quite a keen, enthusiastic cook in her own right.
Now, you said you don't want to cook for the Emmys anymore because the amount of people. Yes. But for those watching, what would you recommend for like an Emmy night viewing party dish? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, that night is a big night. It's as big as the Oscars, and so it's food that needs to be eaten with no awkwardness. Yeah. So what would I do? you know, the most amazing, I call it sort of finger food. So phenomenal, you know, turkey meatballs, the most amazing marinated wings, but take the bones out. So it's just one bite wonders. Great little mini pizzas topped with grated truffle and just little shot glasses of gazpacho. Yeah, you do need breakfast. I can't believe you started your day without breakfast.
It's bad. Well, what would you make for like a dessert, I guess?
Dessert for that, you know, have you ever had a rhubarber?
No.
So these amazing little, it's almost like a little brioche soaked in a light hint of tequila, and it's a beautiful little dessert. Rhubarber, very famous in the UK and very famous in France. So I dip them with a touch of tequila, without even knowing that you're taking a shot. Yeah. So soak it in tequila. So it's a really nice way of having that sweet and that sour flavour across the dessert without getting too drunk. It livens the load. It just it sort of lifts it a little bit. And that tastes nice.
You better be writing this down, guys. It sounds
2 or 3
really
of them,
delicious.
and you're ready for a big party.
If you could sit next to anyone at the Emmys, who would you sit next to?
Oh God, that's a good question. By
yourself?
Yeah, no. That's a tough question. Yeah, I suppose the fellow nominees for Best Presenter, you know, just be nominated is good for everybody, and I think in that arena, it's nice just to throw your hat in the ring and see what comes about. I'd love to be a fly in the wall. Okay, that waiter bringing in coffee and teas when they make those final judges. Yeah. You know, in terms of making those statements and dissecting, going from long list, you know, 20 to 10, 10 to 5, and then down to the final 2. And what is it that separates a nomination from a winner?
That's awesome.
Do you know?
I don't know.
They told me. They told me. They told me you were the best. What separates a nominee from a winner?
The winner has the Emmy.
Yeah, no, but the decision. What makes it?
I'm not sure.
For fuck's sake,
I'm not sure. I wish I knew.
They pulled me in here to say they're going to get the interview with the best up and coming, you know, journalist.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that.
I'm disappointed. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm disappointed.
I think you have the Emmy. That's what separates you.
There's a moment.
There's a moment.
There's a moment when you turn the corner. Yeah. What is it?
You're a standout. You're Gordon Ramsay. If you win, and I hope you do, how do you plan on celebrating?
I plan celebrating taking the family out for dinner and having a nice bottle of Sassicaia.
Where to?
Where would I go for that? I'd probably go to Joe Bastianich's restaurant, Osteria, beautiful Italian on Melrose.
Osteria Mozza.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite restaurants in the area?
LA's got this amazing sort of melting pot of amazing food. John and Vinny's, I love. Bastia, incredible. Pizza Malta as always. And it's got this sort of melting pot of this Southern Californian stroke Mexican. Petty Cash we love. Republic, incredible.
Republic's so great.
Oh,
it's close by.
Yeah, amazing. And he's a great chef. So I'm very lucky I work with all these chefs. They come on and judge MasterChef for me. So the secret about getting them on as a judge is I get their cell number. So when I want a table with 5 minutes notice, I'm in there, which is great.
What do you think about the food debate between New York and LA? Do you think one city has better food? Or?
You know, that's a very political, it's almost like England and Scotland. You know, they don't want to admit how good California is, and California doesn't want to admit how good New York is. They're both as feisty and as competitive. There's no easy mix.
What makes one a winner and the other a nominee?
Well, culturally, different. San Francisco, another amazing. Chicago, Seattle, Portland. I mean, they're all great destinational cities. So
what about Boston? I'm from Boston.
Boston, shellfish, incredible.
We're going to play a little game here that we play at the Hollywood Reporter. It's called First, Best, Last, Worst. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Yes.
And you have to answer them based on first, best, last, worst.
Right.
It'll make sense when I start asking you. What was the first dish that you made where you realized cooking was your calling?
I went home and made this amazing stuffed chicken breast for my parents, and they turned around and acknowledged that the first set of chef whites that they bought for me was a great investment. So it was this poached chicken breast that was stuffed with this wild mushroom farce.
How old are you?
Then I was 17.
If you made it today, how would you make it differently?
Not like I did then at 17, no. My parents thought it was good. My goodness me, can you imagine if I did it now? So I'd transform it completely. Less cream, less butter, and a little bit more vibrancy to the dish.
That's great. I'm a good cook too, by the way.
I don't think you are.
You don't think I am?
No, definitely not, no.
Because I didn't eat breakfast?
We didn't eat breakfast. We came in this morning, you were worried about your hair.
I was worried about
you were
my
asking
hair.
the assistant, that was what my hair looked like. It looks great.
Thank you, thank you. What has been your best moment for you on the set of any of your shows?
Best moment for me, connecting with those youngsters.
So it was on MasterChef Junior?
Yeah, MasterChef Junior, in a way that, I sense their vulnerability and I see their desire in their eyes, and they need to see me on an equal footing. So whether it's a pie in my face or dunked into this pie, they need to feel confident to give me a hard time. That's the moment when everything clicks into shape.
How was the pie in your face?
I got
the first time you got that done?
I got a black eye.
You did?
Yeah, he pushed it that hard. It gave me a bruiser, which was a beauty. Because I don't know, I think guys look cool with black eyes.
Battle wounds.
Yeah, love that.
When was the last time you yelled at someone?
About 4 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was me?
No, before you.
Before
no.
me?
Yeah, Justin Mandel, my assistant. Yeah.
What did you say?
Because he was complaining about Ibiza. And what he hasn't got ready for going. I said, do you know how lucky you are to be standing here in the middle of Hollywood and you're about to go on a 2-week holiday to Ibiza and you're whinging about sun cream? For God's sake, man, get yourself a spray tan.
Who is the worst cook you know?
The worst cook I know? That is a very good question. So this guy I've known for the last 7 years. He's had more insight to me than any other person on the planet, and I've spent more time with him, and yet he still can't cook. My assistant, Justin Mandel.
Besides him, is there anyone else that you...
No, I mean, he is the worst.
You've given up on him?
7 years together, 24/7, and we've travelled the country 3 times over, and he still can't poach an egg.
So you're not going to bring him to Emmys night then?
No. He's gonna sit at home and watch it live.
Last question: what are you looking forward to most about Emmys night?
There's something quite nice about the attire, and chefs generally are scruffy.
Yeah.
So the chance to put a black tie on and look immaculate, and for that sort of 60-second wonder, thinking you're the next James Bond is quite a nice feeling.
Bow tie or?
Oh yeah, definitely bow tie. Yeah, without a
vest
doubt.
or no?
No, just a beautiful suit, crisp shirt, and a lovely blue bow tie.
What about your shoes? Tuxedo shoes?
Well, I have problems with it. I have size 15 feet,
Yeah.
so it's just about which shoes fit.
Maybe someone watching will make you some shoes.
That'd be great. I don't know if you've got time to make those canoes.
They can do it.
Size 15, that's a lot of leather.
You have a month and a half, or a little over a month.
That's a lot of leather.
What do you want to say to fans before we go?
Thank you for the support. Obviously honoured for the nomination, and I keep it real. So fingers crossed. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go get some breakfast.
Can you sort your hair out as well now?
Yeah, I'll fix my hair. See ya. That's great.
Thanks, bud.